Okay, now we are bringing in positive parenting enthusiast, nurse extraordinaire,
Hey,
Josie's mama,
hey,
Brittany
mama.
Catchings. This is my buddy,
Hey,
y'all. How are
Jordyn.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I am so happy you made it to the studio.
Yay.
Finally.
Yay.
We have been doing recaps on everything, on every episode in little sidebars, and I definitely wanted to bring you on to talk specifically about this episode, episode 3, Law and Order. You are my positive parenting guru, okay? I look on your page
Oh,
to see what you're telling me, how patient I need to be. And you say, you go on there and you say, like, Josie had 3 tantrums, and I'm over here, I
just
look
trying.
up
I'm trying.
to your patience.
I'm trying. And it's hard. It's not easy, sis.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I just got the one.
yeah. Well,
No, look, it's really about practice. It's about being intentional. And I'm no guru. It's just I want to do something different. I want to see all the information that I feel like we have at our fingertips. Instagram, the stuff that you see is stuff that I'm seeing. So it's like, ooh, let me share it. Ooh, let me take notes. Because that
It's
shit is
helping.
real. Them kids is like, look, balls of emotion. They don't know what the hell to do. Like,
Yeah.
I'm 31 and I don't know what to do with most of my emotions. So I'm trying to extend grace just like I feel like I wanted to be given grace. So it's really me
about that.
practicing.
You. So when you say practice, how many times do they not listen before they start to listen? Because I
The whole
need.
fucking lot.
See,
But then it clicks and I'm just saying my baby is 19 months, so I'm not even that deep in the game. But I think what I'm seeing is when I do it the first, second, third, fourth, or fifth time, it's not working. But I'm still doing it.
yeah.
And while
It's
I'm
consistent.
doing it, I'm low key trying to breathe myself. Like, Brittany, don't fucking snap. Don't throw the bitch across the road. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Really. But by the ninth time, you see that she does the same exact thing that you have been doing all the time. So it's like, damn, I guess it's working.
It's
A little
working.
bit. Okay, it's cute. And
Right.
I was like, okay, the next time I'm going to keep trying.
A little bit more enthusiastic and, encouraged to keep going.
Yeah.
I think I give up too quick. I give up when y'all don't listen the third time or even the second time. I don't have enough in me some days to
You
be
also
consistent.
Have 1, 2, 3 doing the same thing at the same time.
Yeah.
It's really like, how many times now? Because now
right
it's
now
9
it's times right.
Now
Okay.
it's 9 times 3.
Okay, you're right. That is true. So I feel like maybe with the babies, I'm trying to teach them some things at their little age. So that they're not like Dallas, who's kind of, right now I'm sensing that he has some misplaced anger and he's not knowing where to put his feelings sometimes. But I don't know if I was so intentional like we are right now with the discipline. Like, what does it mean? What does it look like when you're angry? Does it mean that you go in color? Like, this is your thing that you do now when you're angry? Like, draw what you want? Like, I don't...
What will be the discipline?
Yeah, Dallas wants to flip something over. Relatable, I get, so I'm like, I hear where you're saying, so then that's a reason why I'm not gonna be mad at him, because I feel you. Like, I would have threw that too if it was me.
And I feel like being raw and honest with your children is where I think we need to change things.
Yeah.
Like, I understand you're upset, but that takes us being self-aware,
right?
Though. We have to practice that with ourselves. When we mad as fuck, we gotta sit and think, how many times have we just sat and thought like, why am I really mad?
Right.
As opposed to being like, no, because but the root of the cause was what? So we got to do that with our children, too. I feel like.
Right, because they're younger than us.
The root of your issue is you want to do something right now.
Right.
And if it's not the time, because in actuality, mama kind of knows best right now. It's not the time to do that. But in so-and-so, in this amount of time, we can do that when it's an appropriate time. And I can understand how that upsets you. But... then you gotta talk about. But I don't
that's
know
what I feel.
See, I'm
just
still
trying to figure
Instagram,
it out.
Like, now,
trying to figure it out
after this. Okay.
But I think it's just like the overall theme of just being intentional with your children and intentional with everything that you do. Yeah. So in every aspect, but since we're specifically talking about motherhood, I just want to be, like, every move I make is for a reason. It's not just, like, I don't want to look back and be like, I don't know why I did that. I want to know exactly why, even if it's something wrong. Like, I know that my number one lie to tell my kids, like, my rule, don't lie to your kids. Like, you know, I'm like I don't tell my kids about Santa because I'm not going to be the one to lie to you. That's where I am. But I also tell Dallas everything he wants he can get tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be like, oh, we can just get it tomorrow. Like, just to, you know, and it's always going to be a tomorrow. It's always coming.
The concept of time.
Yeah.
And then he, like,
right.
checking your ass.
Exactly.
Tomorrow,
So,
Mom.
right. So, my time is running out for that. But I know that that's my little white lie that I tell him. But I know I don't want to be, you know, I know there's things that I want to change. But being intentional with the children will make them more aware. Like, they know that you're being intentional with them. Like, you know you're doing this because of a reason. Like, then eventually when you're not around, they'll think about, you know,
that's the thing. We're trying to make raw as humans.
Right.
So that when you're not in my space, you can still function as a raw as human. As someone who knows the concept of time, knows the concept of love.
Yeah.
You know how to love people with their different love language. You know how to pick up on senses and body language. I want you to be, and you know how to speak up for yourself.
Yeah.
I want you to be able to do that. So for them to do that, we have to exemplify that.
Yeah. It's really hard sometimes.
No,
because
now you got to be a cute human. Now
right.
you got to be a perfect human. Now I got to fix myself.
Right. Now I got to fix myself. So that's the thing. It's not that we have to be perfect. It's that we have to be on that path to, you know, like, it's kind of like our faith walking forward. We don't know really, you know, we're walking toward, you know, we're trying to be walking closer and closer to God. Like, that's what you're supposed to be doing. So if we're on that path, we want to lead by example. We want them on that path too. That's really the bottom line for everything. I'm doing something so I can be a great human. I want you to do something so you can be a great human. Not because mommy said so.
Right.
You know? But if mommy is saying so, I'm saying so because of ... Like, I think that you shouldn't do this right now. But when Dallas, he threw his tablet one time. Like, it's not functioning properly. Now you throw it across the room. So now I'm taking the tablet. Now we're here. But it's like, Dallas, this is a very nice thing. Why would you throw it across the room? You know, like, I'm mad. This is not the tone that I was talking to him in, please, for the record.
Yeah, because in that moment, that's what I'm saying. You gotta check yourself.
Furious. Why would you throw? What's wrong with you? Why would you throw this nice, you know, tablet across the room? If you like stuff, why don't you keep your stuff nice? Like, take care of your things. Yeah.
Now we gotta become. I feel like we gotta become psychologists. Because now it's like, okay, so you're angry, but now I have to teach you how not to express your anger physically.
Right.
Because when you're 16 and as a black boy expressing your anger physically, it's not gonna work out right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So of course now we got to teach it now. We got to do it now. We got to do it when they're little. So now we can keep practicing because with becoming a good human, you have to practice.
And our little black boys are becoming more and more scary every day to police officers and you know what I'm saying, to the people that we know that how that looks. So I just want to teach you how to be respectful, so you can always be respectful, be an upstanding citizen, teaching them things but not to fear me. How do you feel about teaching your children to have the fear of God? Like, you know how people say, "Ooh,
I don't like
that either."
That word.
I don't like that
because I feel like I don't want to love someone out of fear.
Right.
I don't want to do things for you because I'm afraid that if I don't,
you're not going to love me anymore.
Burn hell with fiery panties.
Or you're not going to love me anymore.
Or you're not going to love me anymore because God's love is unconditional.
Right.
So in actuality, I just want to honor you.
Yeah. Honor.
Because you a cool dude, and I feel like you've been by my side doing some magical things.
So do you think that the way that you feel about that statement, having the fear, like fearing God,
like fearing parents?
Do you know how people, like, they want their children to have that same fear that they fear for God for them, that's why you're going to go out and be a good kid because you have the fear, you are so afraid of your parents. Like, how do you feel about that?
What's that? The authoritative or something.
Parenting stuff.
It's just, that's scary.
It's scary.
What kind of relationship are you fostering? Is what I'm saying. Because then when you're older, how close can we be? Because now I'm just looking at you like this scary person who I have to be perfect for. So now I'm afraid to come to you when I don't feel like I'm being perfect.
Right.
So now I don't have my mother or my father or my family member to go to.
Yeah.
When life is not going perfect for me.
Or when you do talk to them, though, you still, it's like you feel guilt and shame about it.
Honey, or you get a I told you so, or I told you should have lived your life like
Exactly. Something that you can't go back and change. Like, let's not even the forward thinking thing. Like,
what? Help me pick up the
right from here, from right here.
I know it's spilled milk, but can you help me pick it up as opposed to standing over it like watching it spoil?
Why'd you spill it? You know, like it's that.
Yeah.
It's that. That's how like I think about the punishment is how I want my kids to look at me later on in life as like, what was I helpful in this journey, or did you do things because you didn't want to disappoint me, or did you do things because you wanted to make me happy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it negative or is it positive? Are you doing things to like, you know, and I know both of those things can be associated negatively. However, it's just one, oftentimes with parents, it is one or the other. I don't want to think of my parents more so like I don't want to get in trouble. I just want to make them happy, you know?
And then you got to realize some of these parents are just human beings too. So what if you can't make them happy? Hell. I mean, like regular ass human beings, not the cute ass.
Oh, right, the regular,
Mommy,
right.
I want to make you proud.
Right.
Like
the jig is up. Like all of that. I think that our generation's dismantling all the fake stuff. I mean, there are still some fake things, few and far between, but it's gonna. The cracks are seen. You know, now that we're on social media more and we are being more vocal, the word can get out. Things can go viral. We can see different situations. And
now we asking our parents, hey, why did you parent me like this?
Exactly. And that now all of our parents, I think, are suffering because we're all so introspective.
And they don't know how, they're not used to it.
And they don't want it. They don't even want
all
to
they
be.
See is now you being disrespectful.
It's so easy. Yeah, now it's disrespect. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful.
I'm just trying to get some understanding.
Yeah. So that's what I'm having a hard time with that lately, but I'm trying to prevent this, you know, any type of situation. I don't know what we can really prevent with parent, like.
Yeah, like just like I feel like you just gotta have faith and roll with the punches when it comes.
I'm a planner. Faith and planning are really hard. Those things really
That's
don't,
true.
You know, like as a planner, I have to fight myself from making meticulous plans for myself and for my children and even long-term goals because they stifle me because that might not be what God had for me or my kids. Like, I don't know what God has for me, my husband, my kids, but I know that my day-to-day, Jordyn, my plan is to plan it to a T every minute, everything.
So what happens when the expectations of your plans do not go?
I spiral. It's like it's a really low moment for me. It feels like I'm incapable of, you know, keeping my word, essentially. So to me, it becomes a are you keeping your word thing to yourself. All right. Oh, Denim. Denim's here. Wow. Tootie. So I think that the generation, 2 generations above us, like our grandparents were a little bit more rough with the discipline. I don't really know. Since I didn't get spankings or anything, I can't say that. I can't really speak to that. But I know for a fact that like our kids' grandparents are a little rougher. So even just like with the tone, for instance.
Yeah, so it's more so, I wouldn't say rougher. It's more so no nonsense.
No nonsense, yes.
I don't want to hear no talk back. I'm going to give you a look and you better straighten up. You better act right, just like we practiced.
Right.
You know?
See?
So that's why I was saying timeouts. I told my grandma, okay, not just hush up and sit still. Let's do something intentional with that time out, time in, because like you said, an overactive child, if that child damn near was doing flips before you put them in time out, and that's why you mad, then how dare you think that child is going to sit there and like this, I can do.
And then when they move from that spot, now you're mad again.
Yeah, now they getting a whooping. No, let's stop this negative cycle.
Yeah.
But older generations did not have access to that information, and all they knew I was watching something and it was just saying they had survival skills, right? And that was because of their times. If you talk back and you did something out of line, then you can either lose your job, you can either
or your life. Back then it really was that dramatic. So it probably is just like a conditioned thing.
If you look at a Caucasian wrong, you getting this,
your
that,
tone.
So they were trying to make humans that would survive.
Yep.
as opposed to us trying to make humans that will be like thriving and emotionally conscious and knowing how to regulate their feelings.
Yeah.
So they're very different. They don't want to do all that back talk, because if you back talk, if you ask me more questions, if you act like you want more understanding out in the streets, a white person will kill you.
Yeah,
that's so you
true.
can't do that in this house.
Yeah.
We don't have that problems, thank God. Black History Month, thank God.
Right, Black History Month. Yeah, I think that is something to be said about the generation. We have gotten out of that fear tactic, and like we're not just trying to survive. We're trying to teach these kids how to actually realize their emotions and know what to do with them.
Because I think we want to be understood.
Yeah.
Because the generation before us kind of teach us, like, you're a child, you're always going to be a child, I'm always going to know more, da-da-da-da. We just want understanding. And we want to be loved unconditionally on whatever road that we're on.
Even whatever phase.
We're trying to do that with our children.
Kids. Yeah, it's intentional. Like, that's like, I feel like I'm going to get it tattooed. Like, be intentional just with everything. Yep. With the punishments, with the positive things. Like, when people decide they're going to buy their kids a whole bunch of stuff because, I think that
have a negative
exactly.
Thing, now you're the only way that I know that if I get this and I'm this, and when you don't get, then what's gonna happen if you don't get it?
Then you think you're not
worthy?
Exactly. Or if you just tell, like, when we're up a little bit, we be like, Dallas, we just got some money. We're gonna go get you. Like, it's not because you got straight A's this month, because you got straight A's last month. So I don't want you to feel like, dang, I was doing this then and now, like, we got it this month.
Yeah.
Some months we don't have it. Some months we just, I'm like, and when we talk about the toy thing, like, I don't talk to my kids, like, well, Dallas, about money like that. Like, it's not like, oh, we're struggling. But when we do, it's like I don't want him to be like, oh, we're down and out. But he does know when we up, for sure.
You gonna feel,
just so you can, and it's not out of it's not out of you did something good. It's not like you get something good, you get a toy. But mommy and daddy have been working hard. And that's why we,
when you do good, I'm just going to compliment you.
Yeah, I'm complimenting. Yeah, affirm you and tell you. Yeah, let you know that you're doing a good job. Reassure you.
These rewards
I see
are
you.
Not because you're good.
Yeah, and people like the older generation saying like, you got straight A's, that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
But they did it. Some people don't. They did. They gotta whatever they got is what they got, not what they're supposed to have. Like, just
acknowledge my efforts.
Yeah, my grandma told me a story that her father, she was a valedictorian at school, and she came home very excited about being valedictorian, and he said that she was the smartest of the dummies.
Oh, hallelujah.
And she's told me that story so many times, and I know that really hurt her, because you can hear that hurt. But I can understand why when my brother or I or anybody has a big accomplishment, why they're not jumping up and down all the time. So I already give you that grace because I know that that's not what you were given. But now when I see that, I see it's like what that means to you and how that turned you, and how you receive compliments and stuff like that. You think that you just should have done it. It's not just you shouldn't. It's everything's something to be proud of. And you should be proud of your kids and proud of big accomplishments, small accomplishments. But I know a valedictorian, like, my goodness, that's hard. I don't even know how you could diminish that accomplishment. But the last thing I wanted to say was, with Josie and you becoming a mom, how did that turn your nursing career? Like, what did you see that moms needed that you learned from becoming a mom, since becoming a mom? From your labor and delivery, what are they, clients? Patients. I'm like, what are they? Look, those cake people.
I think that we need to invest in taking better care for ourselves in the postpartum period.
Okay.
And when the fuck does that end? Because I really feel like
we postpartum.
Right.
My mama's still postpartum. Okay. My mama postpartum. Your grandma postpartum. Everybody, but people need help.
Yeah, people need help, and that's me being a postpartum nurse. Mm-hmm. I am with mommies for the first 2 days. Mm-hmm. In the first 2 days, I'm so happy to be able to be there. And while you're physically changing really fast, you also have to mentally change really fast for the child that's breathing right next to you, that's surviving on you. But I didn't realize how much more you need when you get home.
Yeah. Those 2 days.
Those 2 days is cute as hell. The baby cute as hell.
The baby's exhausted from the labor.
Exhausted from coming through.
Yeah. And now
from your whole body tensing and doing.
And that baby wake up on day 3.
On day 3.
It's alive.
I'm talking about I'm a postpartum nurse, and I was like, what the fuck?
Right.
Help me. help.
So that's,
and you need it.
Did you know that you needed more help after those 2 days after before you became a mom?
No.
See, I think that's really important. That's something the takeaway from your experience is learning what moms need and knowing that you want to help them another step further. And when we're at the hospital, they tell you those 2 days, they're like, okay, this is, go on.
I thought I was going to be a perfect mommy. Like, I'm so knowledgeable. At least to my child, like, 9 months, I'm going to be awesome. Then I'm probably going, no, baby.
Yeah.
After day 4, I was like, wait, where is YouTube? What is going on? Yeah.
SOS.
And now I need to call all my PICU nurses or something. Do you know what the hell to do with these kids?
Right.
No, but we need the support, and we need to diminish the fact of us knowing it just coming by nature.
Yeah.
Us just knowing what to do. And we're not allowed to feel like we aren't successful or not allowed to speak on it, should I say. Like, if things aren't going right, if I go to someone that's older, they just say, well, that's mommyhood. No, help me navigate this.
Right.
But that induces communication.
Yeah.
And if you ain't got the skill for that, I mean, because now we got the resources, like I say, so much information coming to us. We know what to put a name on something. This is narcissism.
Right. Ooh. This is a
control factor.
Exactly.
This is emotional abuse. We know what to call it now, so we're communicating more. But that's what I've seen. Now, we're going to open this communication assist, and I'm going to make sure you know that you're supported in whatever, and we're going to figure it out. And a lot of times in the postpartum period, mommies don't have that support.
Right.
Like we said, that 1 6-week appointment to make sure that you ain't shook your kid and that your vag is not closed. I mean, that not wide open and still bleeding. That's all they want to know.
Yeah.
But we need so much more than that.
We try and figure it out.
Honey,
we gonna figure it out.
We gonna figure it out. And we gonna help each other do it.
Sure are. All right. That was great. Look at you. I love that you're a nurse and still don't know what the hell, because that made me feel so good. Like, like the little thing, like I know you feel good. Like, I think they're gonna choke and I don't know if I'm gonna know what to do. At least you're gonna be good to go with that. But like, like you know it.
I took enough classes for that. Okay, cool. But
like
all the
to
regulate emotions to
They ain't teach you that. They just teach you how to pop that thing out that thing. And that's easy. That thing be walking out damn near.